Alright, time to lock in a new agent. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are playing Balatro. Now, on a surface level, you might think that Balatro is just poker. But no, it's so much more. At first I didn't understand this game. I was watching my friends play and I just didn't get what was happening. But much like the casino, the bright colors, the sounds, watching that number go up when you finally get a good hand, it all made sense once I picked up the controller, or keyboard, or phone, since I have this game on literally every single device I own now. Balatro is very simple. It's what stupid people would say. Planning out your strategy is like being a Drake fan in 2025. Or, if you know Drake and are under the age of 18. Basically, it's very difficult is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, as I was saying, Balatro is very strategic. The goal is to beat the blind, which increases every round. In each ante, there are 3 rounds: the small blind, the big blind, and the boss blind. The boss blind will activate a random debuff that you have to play around. Like this, where all club cards are debuffed, but that's no worries because I spent all 4 discards making sure that I would make flushes and easily take this boss down. And before you know it, just like that, you're hooked. When you win, you also get money, which you can spend on getting jokers, vouchers, tarot cards, or planets. In this case, I bought a voucher that will increase my hand by 1, so I can play 5 hands per round instead of 4. Another important thing about this game is reading, which isn't my strong suit. I see that I have the ace, king, and 10 of spades, so I think I should go for royal flush, which is dumb to begin with, but what I don't see is this tag that says I will discard 2 extra hands per hand played. So now I have no discards left and I'm forced to play hands. Just really intelligent. So jokers will give out buffs, such as these 2, which will give a buff to odd numbered cards, which is really good. Now, they only give a couple extra chips, but hey, we'll take every chip that we can get in this game. Later on, you'll see how multipliers will affect it, but additions early on are very, very important. And now let's go over tarot cards. These will give you power-ups that primarily have to do with upgrading cards. Such as this, Wheel of Fortune with never actually oh my god, it worked! As you can see, that actually worked, for once. So, it never will for you, but you got to see it one time, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's just turn these 3 cards into hearts to improve our flushes for the rest of the game now. Flushes aren't my favorite way to play anymore, but don't worry, I'll go over my favorite way pretty soon. Adding kings to the deck is a hint for what I like to play. So, back to jokers. They can do more than upgrade your hand. They can also get you more money so that you can buy more upgrades. Money management is very important, since for every $5 you have, will get you $1 of interest, up to $25. So staying above $25 is good for making sure you are always getting the max amount of money. Now, one of my favorite tarot cards is High Priestess, which will give you 2 random planet cards. Planet cards will upgrade a hand, as in these 2, Jupiter and Saturn will upgrade flushes and straights respectively. Yeah, you're damn right you're playing Balatro, that's what I fucking thought. As you can see, multipliers can get you really, really far, and I fucking hate this boss since it always stops me in my tracks. The music to this game is also fantastic. It really just makes you want to keep playing. It's so relaxing. I think every casino should start playing this on the speakers. It would make me want to keep gambling. Not that I really need the music to want to gamble, but that's besides the point. Now it's time to introduce you guys to another boss, the Needle. The Needle will only let you play 1 hand, so you better make it count. Now you might be wondering where I'm getting rid of every single card except queens. Well, that's because of my build. I have upgraded 4 of a kinds, as well as stacking my deck with queens due to this joker right here, which will add a 13 multiplier for every queen in my hand, which is how I get this score in 1 single hand. We have 4 queens here, plus an extra one in our hand that will allow us to get a plus 13 multiplier and allow us to easily coast by this blind. Not even close. And with this much of a multiplier, we only need 1 card. That's what's so awesome about this game. It can be very relaxing, but at the same time can get very tense and exciting. Well, time to send a prayer, and holy shit, we actually got it! That boss debuffed our hand so that we couldn't see any face cards, and they were all dealt face down, so we basically just got extremely lucky that we got 4 queens. Sometimes this game is about luck, so you have to plan on that a little bit, and look at the amount of queens in my deck right now. You guys think this is enough to beat this? Because I'm not exactly sure, but as you can see, with the amount of queens left over, the multiplier is just way too strong, and we obliterate this small blind. Boss blinds are really what you want to play around, and even with the debuff, it's just too strong with all the multipliers we have. It's at this point in the game where you think you're invincible, but I promise you're not. Okay, well, maybe I am, but you get the point. This game continues to scale, so good luck. And with that, you've beaten the game. Yeah, that's it. You know, the game, it's over. So, thanks for watching. Oh, I'm just fucking kidding. This is only the start. It's time for endless mode. That's right. The game never ends. You never beat this game. Your only goal is to beat your previous score. You're not even playing for anything. You're just addicted to gambling, but you don't have to spend actual money. So this is the game to do it on. I've been playing this game non-stop, and I haven't got bored once. I don't even know if it's possible for me to lose at this point. I truly don't think it is. Oh, I guess it is possible. And man, I really wasn't going to drink tonight, but I'm missing that damn banana. That card gives a plus 15 multiplier, but has a 1 in 6 chance of exploding every round. Fucking love that guy. Now let's talk about negative jokers. These won't take up a joker slot, so always buy them when they're available. They take up no room, so it's basically just a free slot for upgrades. Like this one. It's not even that good. Plus 50 chips is nothing after NT8, but why not? 50 chips is 50 chips, and we wind up winning this game, which means every chip counts. Just look at these values. The first round is 300 chips, by the way. But eventually, all good things have to come to an end. No, I'm just fucking kidding. You can keep scaling. This game doesn't ever have to end if you build enough. Just look at this. 840,000 blind. Destroyed. Alright, moving on. Let's try this again, and holy shit, that is a good first shop. You can always also skip blinds to get rewards like this, where you get 2 jokers, and I get the banana, and I also pick up a card to get me some more money each round, which is always nice to have. And now all we have to do is get a straight lined up for us, and with all the multipliers that we have, we already know we have it secured. Another great thing about tarot cards is they can sometimes give you extra money, which is great for playing for the late game. We also wind up picking up this voucher to increase our hand size by 1 to give us better odds of getting the hand we want. And another tarot card to turn another card into a different card, which we can use at getting more kings in our deck. As you can see, we pull this card is called Death, and all you gotta do is swap a card to the left, this 3 of spades, turn it into the one on the right, which is the King of Hearts, and now we have 2 King of Hearts in our deck. Too easy. Sometimes it's good to keep a hold on to those tarot cards when you're going against the boss line like this, where clubs are debuffed, so we can turn those into spades. Now, we have a lot of the royal flush already determined, so we decided to just take this flush anyway and ignore it. Since last time we did it, we fucking lost. No, I'm just kidding. Now we got the ace, king, queen, and jack, so all we got to do is just throw away cards until we manage to get the 10 of hearts, or throw away the game like we did last time. Just kidding, we actually get the royal flush this time and wind up absolutely destroying this boss blind because of it. Oh, and there's also hidden hands like this. You can get 5 of a kinds, which are great for late game. And then we get some aces to get us a 4 of a kind to win the big blind. Sometimes, even with a debuff, you can still win just on multipliers you've gotten. And that's the fun of this game. You set up the game for yourself from the beginning. I recently have loved playing for 4 and 5 of a kinds, which is set up perfectly for a Death Tarot card, to turn another card into a different one that we want. And then, even after that, we pull a Mars out of a planet pack in order to upgrade our 4 of a kinds, which, as you can see, was perfect. Now, even though the goal of this is to get to a 5 of a kind, since, 4 is obviously less than 5, as I hope you guys know, but some of you guys aren't too good on the whole math and counting thing, so might as well say it. It's still good to play for some 4 of a kind, since you're not always going to be guaranteed to get that 5th card. But the 4 of a kinds are still great, as you can see. They just carry us straight through when we know that in the late game we're going to be able to play those 5 of a kinds that we really want to get those massive scores, to get by those massive blinds that we know are coming our way. That stone card is also great. That adds just 50 chips onto our total, which is perfect. And we're only on the 6th ante, but we're already destroying whatever we would need to get past the 8th one. Incredible. And as you can see, this is the wall, which is an extra large blind, which isn't really extra large for us when we're playing 5 of a kinds already, so absolutely obliterated that one. And that's more lucky with a Wheel of Fortune not actually hitting. It's definitely not a 1 in 4 chance, so don't count on that. Well, guess it's time to gamble again. We know that those are kings, so it's a calculated risk, but as you can see, we got the 4 of a kind that we want, and that blind is absolutely destroyed, so we're now on to the 8th ante, where we absolutely obliterate yet another boss, and we can now move on to endless mode, and hopefully we can beat our high score. The 8th ante is a good checkpoint. By the time you get to here, you should be well into the 100,000s. If you're not, then you got a lot of work to do to help your build get to where it needs to be. Because as you can see, by the next time we're playing, we're already up at 2.3 million chips. We only need 220,000, so we're well past where we need to be. And that's what you're going for, until you lose. 4 of a kinds are still way to go in the early rounds, and are way too easy if you can stack them early. But if you can't get those going, straights and flushes are also super good in the early game. But sometimes, it's not enough. So, if you can, always try to go for those 4 and 5 of a kinds if you can. Flush 5s are also very strong, but that hand can take a long time to get going upgraded. Getting through the early game can oftentimes be very boring. But don't take it for granted. If you don't set up your hands and cards nicely in the early game, your late game will not be very fun, and it can be very difficult to get something going. Now, you might be wondering if I ever mess up in the other game. No, of course not. I would never lose in the third ante with only 52 chips since my hand got downgraded by a bullshit boss. That would never happen. What is the point of this game? You can't even play ranked.